The tips and tricks, the last page. Breakfast. Okay.
Bacon and eggs, properly combined.
I think this is important because breakfast is the one meal that I think is okay to skip. I'm a fan of skipping breakfast. Okay, that's just me. Again, everybody's different. You find out what works for you. But again, if you eat a meal at 6, 7 o'clock at night and you skip breakfast and instead you just drink water or vegetable juices or something like that and you eat lunch, okay, you literally just fasted and gave your digestion a break for 18 hours. That's huge. And what do we do in the morning when we get up? We drink coffee, we make eggs, we make toast. Everything we're putting in our body is acidic, and you're never more acidic than when you wake up in the morning, because your body just spent 8 hours doing everything it possibly could to heal your body. And how it heals your body is getting toxins and poisons out of your body. How many people wake up with snot or phlegm or a stuffed up nose or congestion or even a little bit of a sore throat? That's your body trying to heal itself at night while you're sleeping. The last thing you want to do is put coffee in that body that's trying to cleanse and heal itself. First thing anybody should do when they get up in the morning is drink 2 big glasses of water before you do anything else. Then see if you feel like eating breakfast. If you don't feel like eating breakfast, don't. If you get hungry at 9, 10, 11 o'clock, eat an apple, eat some grapes, eat some fruit or something like that. Eat a salad. Don't be scared to eat a salad and breakfast. Oh my gosh, you don't eat salad for breakfast. We're brainwashed. Somebody mentioned brainwashing. We're brainwashed to do things a certain way, to be a certain way, to eat a certain way, to follow these certain rules. There's no rules, So do what's best for your body. Don't be stuck in patterns that don't work. So drink water when you get up in the morning. If you have trouble getting going, there's other things you can do besides coffee. It's amazing. I get people on the greens, just putting greens in water and drinking it, and after a couple weeks they're like, man, I don't need coffee anymore. It's amazing. Because you're actually putting something hydrating and alkalizing that gives you energy without the negative effects. And people can get off coffee. I've seen a lot of people get off coffee. It's pretty cool. Doesn't mean drinking a little bit of coffee is bad, but again, in the morning you're very acidic. Your body wants to be rehydrated and it wants to alkalize.
Another thing that I've heard is to drink lemon juice in water first thing in the morning.
Yeah, put some lemon in it too. Yeah, because that's very alkalizing.
Alkalize.
Absolutely. Yep. And you'll find that I think a lot of times the whole thirst mechanism thing is weird. From everything I've seen and studied and read about and worked with people, is we just can't tell the difference between being thirsty and hungry. We can't. I don't know why. We can't really tell the difference. I think when we get up in the morning, we're so dehydrated that we think we're starving. So we eat a big breakfast. I don't think you're starving. I think you're dehydrated. Try it. Again, give it a week or 2 week experiment. See how you feel. See if it makes a difference. That's the best way to know what's going to work for you. But try that first.
It's a completely different opposite paradigm what you're teaching right now, because usually everything that you've heard forever and ever is the most important meal in the whole day is breakfast.
Right.
And now you're telling us.
Well, and I always give people the example of what does breakfast mean?
Break fast.
It's breaking the fast. How do you break a fast?
Eat.
Not with pancakes and hot dogs or bacon and sausage and
Slowly.
eggs.
Juices.
You would never break a fast that way. How do you break a fast? Broths, juices, things like that. So eat very light for breakfast.
Do you ever feel, obviously you don't, hungry or during mid-morning or low on energy? No.
Never.
Can you go
But see, I'm just to give you an example, that's just me. You're just asking about me.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Me, I'm an adrenal type, my body type, okay? Where I have weak adrenal glands, which means I'm fine in the morning, I feel great in the morning. It's 4 or 5 o'clock when I start to crash and feel like I need something, and then that's when I'll binge, okay? But since I've strengthened my adrenal glands, that binging has disappeared, okay? That's what works for me, okay? But again, everybody's different, you know? Some people can go, like there's if you want to read a pretty cool book, it's called The Warrior Diet. It talks about how people used to eat back in the Greek and Roman times. Again, this is going to be a total paradigm shift. But the way they used to eat, a lot of cultures, is they would work all day. You know, I mean, before we had computer jobs, not that that's not work, but I'm talking physical work. You know, that's all people did. Even if you were a shoemaker or whatever, you were doing physical work all day long. So we do physical work all day long, and he talks a lot about the Romans and the Greeks and things like that, because a lot of times they were fighting, they were warriors, they were training, they were battling, things like that. So all day long, they wouldn't eat. But then they'd go home at night and have a big dinner. Okay, so they literally basically fast for 24 hours. And when you fast that long, you've taken all the burden off of digestion. Everything you've had in your body is digested and eliminated. Your body's set up and ready for that meal. Our bodies are never ready for the meals we eat because we're always eating. Your body never has time to catch up from the last meal. And if you read the book, it makes a lot of sense what he's talking about. Okay? Again, it's just information for you to do what you will with, but there's a couple of different cool things you can do. You can eat a big breakfast. Okay? Here's the saying. Eat breakfast like a king, eat dinner like a prince, eat lunch like a prince, and eat supper like a beggar. Okay? That's one thing you can do. Okay? Then you're not eating a big meal at night, you're not putting that burden on digestion while you're sleeping. That's a great thing to do. I choose to do the opposite. I don't eat in the breakfast. For lunch, I'll have a little bit of a salad, and then at night, I'll have some steamed vegetables or a little piece of meat or something like that. And my biggest meal is in the evening. Find what works for you. Okay? But never is eating 3 huge meals or eating, a lot of people are talking about the 6 meals a day and that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, if your blood sugar's all jacked up or whatever, you need to do that, that's fine. But that's not really a good idea, because again, you're never giving your body a break. Your body's always trying to digest and work on digestion. It's got a lot of other things it wants to do. It really does. It's got a lot of tasks. A lot of his to-do list is very long. Digestion is not the only thing on your body's to-do list. But that's all it spends time doing with a lot of people. And that's why they never feel better. That's why they never get better. That's why they never heal. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing that you hear a lot about is that people are grazers. You know,
Right.
That we're supposed to be grazers and basically eat all day, you know, munch all day long. I've never done that, but this is a completely different...
Well, and again, if that works for people, that works for people. Some people do have major blood sugar issues. They have adrenal weakness, you know, and if your adrenals aren't functioning and producing properly, your blood sugar starts to drop and you have to eat something. That's okay. I mean, you got to do what works for you. But if you don't have problems like that, I don't think that's the best thing, personally. Now, if you're eating apples all day, or carrots, or vegetables all day long, and you're kind of grazing on that ain't going to be a big deal. Again, it's high residue versus low residue, stuff that's easy to digest and break down, you know. But if you're eating hot dogs all day, well, I know that's a bad example, but you know what I'm saying. If you're eating, not combining properly, and you're eating all day long just to put food in your body, that doesn't work.
Well, I definitely go along with you. I've never, believed in the grazing all day long. I thought, gosh, does anybody really do that?
I think a lot of people do that. They really do.
Do you graze all day?
I'm
Like a cow.
I could.
Like a cow.
Grazer, but a lot of it's a fruit and vegetable. Not corn-fed, though, right?
Not corn-fed.
And again, there's nothing wrong with doing that if it works for you.
And it's because of my adrenal glands. That's why. They're not strong yet. So.
And if you don't do that,
I know, I'll binge.
you'll binge. Just what I was talking about. If you're like, okay, I'm going to try to not do that. I'm going to skip breakfast, or I'm going to eat a big breakfast and not eat the rest. Yeah, you're done. Your blood sugar drops. And like I said in classes before, when your blood sugar drops, it's starving your brain. And your brain doesn't care if it's an apple or a donut or a Big Newton or a Twinkie. It just wants satisfaction. And you'll eat anything. Doesn't matter. So you have to be careful with that. But again, when you strengthen your body, that'll disappear, and then you can change. So I'm giving you different options because right now you might need to eat frequent small meals, and then as you strengthen, you can go back to 3 meals. Or you could even try, like what works for me, I very rarely eat breakfast. Very rarely. I get up in the morning, 2 big glasses of water, I take my greens, and I mix up my greens and water and drink it. By the time I do that, I'm never hungry and I feel awesome. So you gotta find what works for you.
So what do you do the rest of the day? You do salad and then...
I bring a big salad for lunch, a raw salad. Now, on that note, it's winter. I don't like eating a lot of raw foods. My digestion was pretty weak for a while. I've just started eating raw salads again recently because, again, they weren't working for me. But my digestion has strengthened for some herbs and things I've been doing consistently. And now I'm loving the raw salads, loving it. My body finally likes them and wants them again. Okay? And I think that's a good point to make because, a lot of times people get into health and they want to get healthy and they go talk to somebody and the person's like, well, I went all raw and I healed and I feel amazing. And like people think there's this one way to get healthy. Okay? But just because it worked for that person doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So you got to figure out what you need.
Well, when you did your greens in the morning, or when you do your greens in the morning, you're feeding your cells.
Oh, big time.
So,
yeah.
I mean, you're feeding the part of your body that really does need to wake up and start working and functioning.
Mm-hmm. Well said. I mean, anything that can feed the body without overburdening it with food is a really good idea.
Yeah.
That's why juicing is really awesome. That's the other thing I'll do a lot of times in the morning is I'll juice cucumbers and celery and half a beet or whatever and drink a nice vegetable juice in the morning. That will really, that'll get you going.
Mm-hmm.
Very easy on digestion and feed your body, feed your cells.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another really good idea, juicing.
Also, that supports, I read somewhere that actually the reason why we're hungry in the morning, it's not because of carbohydrates or stuff like that, it's because of minerals you're lacking.
Right.
So if you're taking greens, then you're getting the minerals.
Exactly.
Like potassium, magnesium, and all
Yep.
that stuff.
You're replenishing what your body's missing. Exactly. And a lot of times, sausage and pancakes doesn't replenish what the body's missing. That's why you can eat, like a lot of people, they'll eat a huge old breakfast, pancakes and this and that, at 8, and then at 10 they're like, man, I'm hungry. How does that happen? Well, you're not feeding your body. You're not getting what your body needs. That's very common in America. We're the most overfed, undernourished country in the world for that reason. We never give the body the proper foods that it wants. So I'm glad you brought that up. That's perfect. Replenish what you need in the morning, what you need. First thing your body needs is water. And add minerals, add lemon, add mineral drops to your water. Do vegetable juices. Again, try it for a week. See what happens.
So a vegetable smoothie would actually be better in the morning than a fruit smoothie.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, we just do fruit smoothies because we like sugar and fruit tastes good.
Okay.
I did fruit smoothies for years. I haven't done a fruit smoothie in a long time. I eat fruit on an empty stomach, again. But I do vegetable juices in the morning, or my greens. If I don't feel like I have time to make a juice and wash my juicer and do all that, tablespoon of greens, mix up in water, boop, done.
So what is your view on green smoothies, like they have the fruit in them? Is that bad since it has fruit in it?
I think you don't have to be perfect. Again, you don't have to be perfect. But I think if you're going to do a green smoothie with, like, say, celery and cucumbers and kale and that kind of stuff, just throw in like a half an apple. Something like that. Don't throw in a bunch of a peach and a pineapple and a bunch, just put in a little apple or something like that, especially if taste, because a lot of people, taste is the issue. Okay.
Color is too.
Now, what is that?
Color is too.
Color? Yeah. What's green? You don't like green?
It took me a while.
Okay, so let's see. Food coloring, but that has some
money.
chemicals in it.
It's really interesting.
a lot of berries.
times they'll say that you
Yeah.
can combine vegetables with an apple, but never with any other kind of fruit. Why is that? I've seen that a lot.
I think because apples are so low in sugar.
Well, they take up if you put an apple with spinach, it disguises the taste of your spinach.
good.
Totally,
Yeah.
you taste the apple and not the
Yeah.
spinach. That's
There you go.
Oh, I'm fine now, but when I first started doing green smoothies, I had to do berries with them because I had to have it kind of pink.
So what you have to do is you have to do your green smoothie and then figure out exactly how many blueberries you have to add and turn
Well, I
it
can't have
to
sugar
the color.
right now, so that's not even an issue.
So other tips on digestion: less is more. Again, this is a hard one, especially in America. But as you start eating less food, you'll start realizing that you don't need that much food. Examples. I always look to nature for examples. Okay, a great quote I heard one time is, "One meal a day is enough for a lion. Should be enough for a human being."
Yeah, that's a good
Right?
point. Yeah, no kidding.
We're talking some of the biggest, strongest animals on the planet. They don't eat more than one meal a day. Sometimes they eat once every 4 days.
Yeah.
Until they get a kill. Think of your dog. Think of your cat. Really. You might have a big old 80-pound lab or something, and he eats a couple cups of food in the morning. He's fine. He's healthy. He's running all over the place. He's licking your face. He's jumping on you. That's all he eats. He's 80 pounds. He's only half the size of you. That means if you ate 4 cups of food, that'd be enough for the day. Think about what 4 cups of food is. It's not much. Your body doesn't need a lot of food. But we're either brainwashed, or we binge emotionally, or we have weakened systems, or we're feeding candida, fungus, and yeast that are craving sweets and foods like that. We're just out of balance. We got to reestablish balance. The things I say I know make sense, but in practical, real life, it always isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do. But again, understand it and start making changes, because we don't need a lot of food. We just don't. Strengthening digestion. This is a big one for me. I give a couple of really good examples. I brought something. If anybody wants to try it, if anybody's brave enough to try it, I am making a formula. I'm calling it Digestive Fire, and I'm going to sell it in little 2-ounce containers. But all it is ginger, fresh garlic, a little bit of cayenne, turmeric, and horseradish. Okay, and I've made it into a paste. Okay, and you take a 1/4 teaspoon before a meal, and you'll get your digestion flowing. The saliva will be going, the gastric juices will be flowing. But that's what's going to strengthen your digestion over time. That's what they do in Chinese medicine to strengthen digestion. I believe in doing colonics when you need colonics. The Chinese don't believe in that. They say strengthen your digestion. Get stuff working properly inside there. It works. Okay, again, we don't take anything to prepare our bodies and our systems for that digestive process. The first bite is a hamburger, which is everything combined improperly. Because it's meat, mostly corn, and a starchy bun, and ketchup or whatever, and there's nothing that's been done to prepare the environment. So one of the best ways to strengthen your digestion is to take herbs or something before your meals, or even on an empty stomach, because it'll actually purge, heal, and cleanse the liver and the gallbladder if you take herbs on an empty stomach.
Probably your tongue, too.
What's that?
I said probably your tongue, too.
Oh, yeah.
You won't want to eat a meal.
Yeah. It's actually pretty good. The first couple times it might be like, whoa, that's strong, but you'll grow to like it.
Well, when you prepare your digestive system, should you do it half an hour before you eat, or
10 minutes before meal.
10 minutes
Yep.
before meal?
Yep, 10 minutes before meal, and you'll be ready to rock. And I think it's a good, again, if you food combine properly, the gas, bloating, acid reflux, anything like that you have, it's gone. You just shouldn't have an issue with that anymore. But if you want to strengthen and really heal the digestive tract, it's a good idea to take herbs and things like that, because the cayenne and turmeric and some of these herbs, there's 100 benefits to it, but circulation, anti-cancer, anti-tumor, cleans up mucosal conditions in the body, strengthens and heals the heart. Dr. Christopher, never lost a heart attack patient just by giving them cayenne pepper. So there's so many other benefits to it. Horseradish, totally underused in herbalism. Totally underused. So powerful for cleaning up the lungs and congestion and opening up the sinuses and helping things flow and move better through the body. All these herbs are very powerful. Ginger is probably the best, in my opinion, for digestion. Very high in enzymes that help with your digestion. Just a little bit of ginger or ginger tea with the meal really, really boosts digestion big time. So this is a little, a couple of different options. Most people fit one of the two categories. If they run cold, they feel cold a lot, they need fire. In Chinese medicine, you need fire inside your body. You need digestion fire. A lot of people that are cold all the time have weak digestion. So something like these types of herbs will create that fire you need. On the opposite end of that, a lot of people, if they run hot all the time, excessively hot all the time, they need more of a cooling bitter stimulant, which is grape bitters.
What's grape bitters?
Grape bitters, I can show you, but it's an herbal formula of bitter herbs, but they're more cooling herbs,
Okay.
not the heat intensifying herbs. Things like andrographis and gentian root and things like that.
Okay. Okay.
Then a couple other things is the apple cider vinegar or the aloe vera juice before a meal, especially beneficial for people that have acid reflux, especially good before a protein meal. Because again, you need acid, you need hydrochloric acid to break down proteins. A lot of people don't have enough acidity because of the weak digestion. They keep eating meat, they keep having these problems. The apple cider vinegar and the aloe will give them a little bit of extra boost they need to digest and break down those foods. That's a great thing to do before a meal as well. And then digestive enzymes can help as well. Because a good full spectrum digestive enzyme will cover everything. Carbohydrates, fats, proteins, etc., etc. Now, last thing, I did say earlier not to drink water during meals. However, I wanted to mention this. In Ayurveda in India, for thousands of years, they've sipped warm water or a little bit of warm tea with a meal. You can completely correct your digestion just by drinking warm water all day long.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
How cool is that? I mean, seriously. Warm. A lot of, again, it's an American thing, but cold liquids, ice and everything. Okay, that is a total shock to your digestion. It completely just shuts down your digestion like that. Your body, there's nothing your body can do with that. It'll sit in your stomach until it warms up enough that your body can finally start using it. So a little bit of hot tea sipped throughout a meal will actually help with your digestion. And again, it's what they've used in Ayurveda in India for thousands of years. Make that like a little bit of ginger or a little bit of cayenne or something like that, and you're just going to boost it and help it that much more. But people that do that, that drink hot water throughout the day, especially if you have constipation and things like that, you'll notice that disappear. It can completely correct constipation.
So we shouldn't keep our water in the refrigerator, cool it.
No,
Huh.
no. You should drink room temperature water or drink hot teas. As a general rule of thumb.
So is it also harder then for your body to absorb it if it's cold?
Well, it won't absorb it.
It won't absorb it at all.
It won't absorb it
Wow.
until it heats up
Huh.
to a level that the body can use it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people, if you've ever been dying of thirst and you get the cold water out and you
Yeah.
drink a big glass of it, that stuff's in there sloshing around forever.
Yeah.
But if you drink good quality water, there's no sloshing. It's boop, body's like, all right.
Uh-huh.
So just room temperature, not
nice.
heating it up.
No,
or
you don't have to heat it, but
Yeah.
at least room
Because
temperature.
I love cold water,
But
but I
warm
noticed that it
water,
sloshes around.
warm water is good.
Especially in the
I mean, I
winter.
drink it all
I
the
drink
time.
hot tea all day long when I'm in there, man. I love it. And yeah, that can really help with digestion.
What kind of tea are you drinking all day long?
What kind of tea do I drink all day long? I have like 80 in there, man.
He's the
No, I do
perfect
every morning. I do holy basil and licorice root tea. That builds my adrenals. Okay, that's the first tea I drink in the morning. The second, I have a little bit of a system. I was just messing with you. The second tea I drink every morning is a Chinese herb called Codonopsis, another herb called Dong Quai or Dang Yi in Chinese medicine, and a little bit of stinging nettle. That's for my liver. Went down here. My liver. And then the third tea I normally drink is my medicinal mushrooms, shaga and reishi mushrooms. So those are teas I normally drink during the day for different reasons. But again, that'll change. When I feel like what I need or whatever. Sometimes I'm just try something different. So those are some of my favorites. But if you can figure out kind of what you need, what your body needs, the class is about Candida fungus, right? I'm going to give a Candida protocol at the end of the month, but if you have a major Candida fungal issue, then you should be drinking Pau d'Arco tea, cat's claw, black walnut. There's amazing herbs you can take to just completely flush candida out of your system. And don't be shy with it. Don't be like drinking your 1 cup of tea. You know, you can drink that all day long. Make up like a gallon of it and drink it all day long.
You can put stevia in that.
Yeah, you can put a drop of stevia in it. But like pau d'arco tastes great. Black walnut, I don't know how great that tastes. It's rich in iodine, but that iodine just goes through every crevice of the body. It just destroys pathogens.
How much water do you use with the parrot? Because I did I think 4 cups and 3 tablespoons. 4 cups of water, 3 tablespoons. Is that about right? Or how much
That's
water?
a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot. That was probably pretty
I haven't tried it
pretty
yet.
stout.
Can
Oh,
I
it's
add
at your
water
home,
to-
like brewing or something?
No, it's like in a glass container.
Okay,
Yeah.
it'll be pretty strong. But pau d'arco is not a bad. It's a tree bark. It's
'Cause
not
when
a
I
really
looked it up on
strong
the internet, that's what they said to use,
taste.
so I didn't know.
Oh,
how
that's
much.
great. That's great because that's going to be more medicinal. 'Cause It's
Okay.
strong.
Okay.
So, but that's cool.
So if you want to boost your thyroid, drink a little bit of.
Ashwagandha. I don't know how great ashwagandha tastes in a tea, but black walnut would be great for the iodine content.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what your issue is. There's a tea you can drink that'll benefit you. You know, if you're having energy issues, I like the shaga. The shaga, my body will get used to shaga mushrooms. I've talked a lot about shaga. Most of you probably are familiar with it, but shaga is an adaptogen. So when you drink it in the morning, it gives me a boost. Awareness is what I notice more than anything when I drink shaga. Awareness and alertness. But then at night, if you drink shaga, man, it'll knock you out. That's the great thing about Chinese tonic herbs. They do to your body what your body needs at that time.
So it's almost like an L-tryptophan?
Well, not really. I mean, it might have a similar effect on the body, but
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
How do you spell shaga?
CHAGA. Shaga, I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to talk about this. This is a random thought popped in my head. I thought I'd mention it. Since we're talking about candida fungus, I'm just going to throw this out there. When you go to the doctor and he gives you some kind of a medication for a fungal issue or an antibiotic, you know what that is?
More fun.
It's a fungus. It's a fungi. It's from the fungi family. Tetracycline, penicillin. These things are fungi. Okay? But they're in a very toxic form because they're pharmaceuticals. Okay? We have the king, queen, princess, the whole royal kingdom of the most powerful fungi in the world at our fingertips. Chaga mushrooms, reishi mushrooms, cordyceps, lion's manes. All these medicinal mushrooms, they're very protective of the body. They're superior life forms. They will destroy inferior life forms. You take chaga and reishi mushrooms, it's great candida fungus therapy. A lot of practitioners will tell you the opposite. Just avoid all mushrooms.
Yeah, I've read that to not eat mushrooms
Yep.
or yeah.
Now they're talking about eating mushrooms. Yeah, you wouldn't eat portobello mushrooms and that stuff in the store because yeah, that's fungus. It grows in the ground and it's.
So you're talking about drinking it then?
No, I'm talking about
No?
medicinal mushrooms that grow on the side of trees. They're a
Okay.
completely different animal. The way I explain it is comparing a chaga mushroom to a portobello mushroom in the fungi family is like taking the mammalian species and comparing a human being to a rat.
Ew.
Okay?
Wow.
I mean, there's that big of a difference.
Guess we won't eat portobellos anymore.
Well, okay. No, portobello mushrooms are okay. I'm just saying it's just a very it's a upper class mushroom. They call chaga the mushroom of immortality. It's amazing, anti-cancer, anti-tumor. They use it for every condition you could possibly think of. So it's a great tea to drink.
Okay.
I don't even remember why I mentioned that. Oh, because of candida, I guess. But yeah, so you can actually use that as therapy. Again, I just wanted to make the connection that when you take antibiotics and these things, you're actually taking something from the fungi family to destroy fungus in your body. Why not take it in its pure, raw, most powerful state without all the negative side effects of antibiotics?
So do you have a tea to help with that you can combine for the people that are fighting candidas and fungus infections?
Yes.
That they could just purely,
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to give everybody that at the end of February.
oh, okay.
We're going to have a class on it.
Okay. Keep coming.
Well, and I'm telling you, with the if you follow a good Candida protocol, within as little as 3 days, sometimes the longest it usually takes is 2 weeks, you'll feel better than you've ever felt. But if we don't find the core root issue of why you have this infection or whatever you want to call it, it'll come back unless you eat really clean. That's why a lot of people manage and control their illnesses with diet, because you can do that. I think a lot of people have experienced that. I've been through that, where I had an issue and I knew that if I ate properly I'd feel great, but then as soon as you feel great, then you feel invincible again and you go eat junk again. And then you feel like crap again and you're stuck on this roller coaster. So until you totally reestablish balance in your body, you're going to be stuck on that roller coaster. But at least you know that there's something you can do to feel better right away. Now when I binge and eat stuff I shouldn't, instead of feeling miserable for 2 weeks, it takes me 1 day. The next day, I feel great again. Because my body's more clean and pure, and it's able to eliminate properly. So you can get to that level. Were you going to ask something? You're just itching your eye. So
So
yeah.
when you say 20% serving of meat or grains, can you give like a ballpark of what that is?
What fits in the palm of your hand? Right there. It's the easiest way to think about it.
And can you do avocado with candida?
Yes.
I wasn't in the Donna Creek's book, so I didn't know. Or I didn't
I'm
see
okay
it.
with avocado. I've never seen anybody have issues with avocado with candida. Anything else? Good? Fun? All right, then. Class dismissed.